According to the report by CBS Sports, Dak Prescott said he could play today if need be. And he's recovering wonderfully from his hamstring injury. And I don't have any qualms or concerns whatsoever about this guy exploding in 2025. Yeah, you heard me right. Dak Prescott exploding in 2025. I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the game right now in terms of fantasy football production, not just for him as your late quarterback strategy where you pair two Dak Prescott players together, Penix Jr., Dak Prescott, group them together, do it live. If that's your plan of attack, of course I am a very big advocate of early quarterback, but Dak is a gem in the double-digit rounds as your QB1 rotation in a 1 QB league. And a super flex, I mean, he could be great value as well. But the more important part of this conversation relates to Ceedee Lamb. The more important part of this conversation is how high does Lamb go next year? How much does Lamb drop in terms of load dropping 2025 stat production? The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. Dial on into the phone line in a few minutes. File on in, hit the like button. Graveyard style, doing it live. Let's go.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
I mean, Dak is going to prove a lot of doubters wrong. The report here reads that Dak Prescott, who tore his hamstring last season, is expected, or that he expects he could play today if he needed to. While it's unsure where he's at exactly, like there is some sort of rehab, going on still, it feels like there's almost no concern whatsoever that he'll have any sort of setback in the remaining part of his, rehab. And, given that he could play today according to his, evaluation, could be a little bit optimistic. I'm not saying that these guys, once they go out to the podium or get asked by a reporter or something, they aren't answering things in a much more like padded way. But at the end of the day, given that it is April 12, there's no sort of concern about a compensation injury. If he was pushing July or August and he wasn't really doing all of the things on the field that he normally does, then of course we're worried about compensation injuries for an injury-prone quarterback. But here's the thing. As much as I want to, again, pound the table and say, go get Dak Prescott for your late quarterback, rotation, Kyler Murray, Dak, Penix Jr. and Dak, Bo Nix and Dak. Those are fantastic duo 1 QB rotational quarterback situations for a wait on a quarterback late draft strategy. But here's the thing. I'm drafting Mahomes in round 6-7, which is also is like taking candy from a baby. But I'm also grabbing Josh Allen, JD5. They're obviously the two best quarterbacks in fantasy. Jalen Hurts is right there. Lamar's right there. Even if I grab one of those big dogs, I'm scooping Dak Prescott up all day long as my second quarterback in a 1 QB league. And dare I say, one of the craftiest draft strategies, as I've coined this term in best ball. And again, go over to Underdog, promo code Smitty, where you can get your bonus match up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Here's the link right here. I'll pin this link in the live chat. Make sure you are heading over to Underdog tonight to try this approach that I'm about to show you. The approach is called what I've coined the Substack. And if you draft, let's say, a JD5, which I 100% condone early quarterback drafting, or you draft yourself a 6th, 7th round Mahomes, which is unbelievable value. Mahomes is going in such a great 6th to 7th round territory. Let's say you grab Ceedee Lamb in the 1st round. You're going to look like you don't have a stack going on. And people will say, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing in best ball. Everybody's got a stack. First of all, you don't have to stack. You don't have to stack to win. That's garbage. Garbage advice. It's advantageous when it makes sense. and it can certainly give you some sort of advantage later on. If one team's popping, less things need to go right for you to have a big week. Stacking is a lot of the time a team that wins has a stack, but it's also important to remind yourself that the majority of people that really play really good best ball are trained to stack. So you naturally have more people in the stacked population to win. So it's kind of biased in a sense, or hard to see, what's what. But the substack is where you come into best ball and you draft your QB2. And this is a one quarterback, contest that I'm talking about. You have your substack here. So you don't have your stack initially. Looks like you're not stacking anything. You come in, you swing in hard, you grab Ceedee Lamb, you got Dak Prescott as your second quarterback, and you have this quiet, amazing substack. The same thing that can happen with, let's say, MHJ. You grab him in the third round. You have Josh Allen or JD5, and it looks like you don't have a stack going on. You grab Kyler Murray in the near double-digit round territory, and now you have this substack going. Substacking is one of the coolest ways to draft on Underdog, because it doesn't make you go a certain quarterback that you don't necessarily want to go because you're trying to force the stack. You can naturally do the stack without doing anything. You just grab Dak as your backup, you grab Kyler as your backup, you stack them to MHJ or to Ceedee Lamb, and you move on your merry way with a very healthy QB wide receiver stack. It's fantastic. It's probably my favorite stacking strategy for the 2025 season. Back to the topic at hand, where we're discussing this man right here, Dak Prescott. What's it lead to? Wide receiver 1 overall capability? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Ceedee Lamb can drop loads in 2025 to the degree he's the number 1 wide receiver at the end of the season. What's even more beautiful about the situation in Dallas is that they trade for Joe Milton, a guy I want on pretty much every fantasy team I have in Dynasty. I just really believe in him. I just really believe there's something special in Joe Milton. And if something happens to Dak, who was a very often injured quarterback, if something were to happen, even though I like him a lot this year, Joe Milton steps in and Ceedee Lamb still balls the hell out. Joe Milton's ability to navigate and move around and keep defenses honest may even give Ceedee Lamb opportunities in schemes that he wouldn't get with Dak Prescott in the lineup. So I'm not saying I'm rooting for a Dak downfall or an injury or anything like that. I'm just telling you that Ceedee Lamb's safer this year than he was last year before any injuries or any concerns dropped. I think Lamb is going to lamb chop. I think Lamb is going to do some lambing. And I think people that doubt him will be on the other side of that, getting lambed.
Get lambed.
Doubt him all you want. Doubt him all you want. Dial into the show. Tell me you doubt him. Tell me you don't like Ceedee Lamb. Tell me you don't like Dak Prescott and Joe Milton. Tell me how the Cowboys are so bad. They're not America's team, Smitty. I'm going to be biased and tell you the Cowboys aren't very good, Smitty.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. Josh, I don't know why, Josh, you even watch this show. To be honest, sometimes I think you want to read and watch and listen to stuff that you don't agree with on the regular. I don't know for what reason. I think some people do enjoy that type of, positive, negative, different opposite polar opposites just colliding. I think that's what Josh likes. He must like that. Joe Milton is absolutely terrible. You don't even know who he is. You don't even know what he is. You don't even know what he's capable, Josh. You're dropping a very, very embarrassing statement where you have zero ability to judge this man yet. And anything that he's done so far has been great. Yeah, then you're going to say it's up against backups, and you're going to start finding excuses as to why Joe Milton doesn't deserve a pat on the back for what he's shown you in the only opportunity he's been given. Not to mention he was a specimen. Not to mention I thought he should have been drafted by a team that needed a starter like the Raiders last year, and he should have started his rookie year. So you think whatever the hell you want. Okay, dial into the show. We got Travis on the line and Rock out. Travis, go ahead. You're live. I guess the speaker needs to be activated here. Hold on a second. All right. I should be able to hear you now. I should be able to hear you now, Travis. Go ahead. You're live.
Am I good now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, like you were saying, especially an underdog, you can go with the early quarterback if you want to, but if you want to try some lineups where you just stack up your position players like crazy, you can easily end up with a field stack and that pick your third guy. That's why I like taking Penix maybe. And that could turn out to be an easy top 10 quarterback.
Yeah. Dak and Kyler, Dak and Fields, Dak and Bo Nix, Dak and a plethora of options. But again, my favorite approach though, by far and away though, is that let's say you get the JD5 and then you just get Dak later, and then that allows you to stack that Ceedee Lamb situation, which is such a cool feeling to eventually. I keep knocking this damn speaker over. It's such a cool feeling to eventually walk away with a stack when you weren't stacking it at all at the start of it all, and everyone thinks you don't have any sort of stackage going on, but little do they know you're working the angle. You got MHJ, you get Kyler as your second QB in a 1 QB best ball. You've got JD5 and Ceedee, you get Dak Prescott later on. I love it. I think it's one of the craftiest ways to draft. And it's cool because Kyler and Dak are both top 5 to 8 capable quarterbacks any given Sunday and for multiple weeks during the season. Like Dak can finish 5 to 8 on the year. Kyler can finish 5 to 8, 5 to 9 on the year. And honestly, any given week, Dak or Kyler could be the number 1 or number 2 fantasy football quarterback. You can't say that about like Goff or, especially without Ben Johnson. You can't say that about quarterbacks that are still pretty decent. Like, I'm not expecting Brock Purdy to finish his QB1 multiple times during the year. Even if he's decent or steady for you, you believe that to be true, you can say Dak can be the QB1 at least 2 times during the year. You can easily say Kyler could finish in the top 1 to 2, 3 multiple times during the year. So they're great quarterbacks to grab as your second quarterback in best ball. But yeah, it's fun. Lamb is such a fun player to draft too. And because of the way that the RBs are falling in the second round, especially in best ball, and you get to come in and grab Ceedee Lamb and then also get this Bucky and Kyron combo, to also get the Bucky and Hall combo with the Lamb chop in round 1. It's awesome. Lamb's one of my favorite picks right now in the first round. I love Neighbors. I love drafting Lamb. I, of course, love drafting Jamar Chase at the top of the draft, which you kind of got to do anytime you get the 1.1.
And real quick, and I'll let you over to Rock out. I also try to tell people that it's always in Dynasty. It's awesome to have one of these top quarterbacks, but in the league I took over, I had I think it was Darnold and Trevor Lawrence and Darnold and Love, and so it's if you're stuck like that, look to these other guys as a bridge fix while you're working on getting that quarterback. If these guys can carry you through enough weeks,
Thanks, Joshua.
Right, match done.
Yeah, thanks, Joshua. Appreciate that. Joshua said, let me read his comment. He said, Smitty, this is legit August content in April. Let's go. Appreciate that. That's one of the better compliments we've had all week, my boy. And also, let me also say this, that sometimes you got to make a tough decision. You got JD5 on your team, but you don't have the supporting cast to really win. And you want to root for JD5, In the case of Josh Allen or Lamar, let's even put Lamar right here because we don't talk about Lamar enough. You want to keep him, but your team isn't good enough. You need other players to even compete. There is something to trading Lamar away, getting a Dak Prescott and another player from the Dak Prescott owner who doubts him, and then now all of a sudden you have this team that can compete. Of course, what you get back is obviously contingent upon you sending it or wanting to do this, but you could run into something like where you can get a Bucky from somebody that doesn't believe in him. You could get a Chase Brown from somebody that isn't sure if he's going to get screwed by the NFL draft and they're just getting trigger happy right now. You could trade for Dak, and I mean Hall is so easy to attain right now in a trade. These are all pretty damn good moves. And when you really think about it, in a 1 QB league, if it's not super flex, you're drafting a lot of the times this player you're getting over Lamar anyway. It's just because the league's ongoing now and everybody's, got their players and their team built a certain way. This is one of the better underrated quarterbacks to go get. Make sure you get Milton off waivers. Milton plus Dak is a necessity. That's probably one of the only dynasty handcuff QB situations that, I think you could say Love. You need to cuff Love as well. But I really truly believe that Dak is an asset to people that need to make moves. And even if you, during the season, let's say in a redraft sense, not just dynasty, you come out of your draft and you've got Josh Allen and you just screwed up your draft. Or let's say you get hit with a very early injury. I hate to even throw names out, but let's just say Puka got injured. Okay, Puka got hurt. You no longer have Puka Nacua as your wide receiver 1. He's out. You've got Josh Allen. You now need to trade him. You go get a Kyler or a Dak, but I think Dak's a lot more doubted and cheaper. So you go get Dak and you get a wide receiver. And I don't know who's a late second round wide receiver. I mean, you could say JSN. You could say what other wide receiver would fit the bill there? Garrett Wilson. We talk about him a lot. I don't know. I don't know that you'd fully land this, but you could throw something else in that you don't necessarily love that you think you can do away with. But Garrett Wilson, and keep in mind, again, you're drafting Josh Allen and Garrett Wilson in a very similar place anyway, but maybe the person that has Dak has, buyer's remorse. They got screwed later in the draft when they were trying to get cute with QBs and they got stuck with Dak or whatever. Or, somebody gets hit with an injury at QB and you were also hit with an injury at wide receiver. There's a lot of reasons you can make this trade in redraft as well once you get into the September, early September territory. London, probably not, because London's getting drafted ahead of Josh Allen anyway. So you can't really get... JSM would probably be the best player I could come up with. I like DK, but I don't even know if that would be quite enough fair market value-wise, but... Because Josh Allen deserves somebody right next to a wide receiver. We're talking, Garrett Wilson if you can, JSN if you can, go in those directions.
Jay.
Yeah, that would be good.
Redo it.
Yeah, you could take MHJ and Dak. Let's say your Puka goes down, at the end of August, and you've just drafted. You're like, son of a B, and you've got Josh Allen or even JD5. It sucks to trade him. But this is the move right here. This saves your season. This puts you right back to where you were. You're a little bit lesser at QB, but you got that wide receiver. And honestly, Dak is proven top 4 to 5 potential. And just, you could grab Joe Milton if your benches are deep just to be safe. All right, rock out real quickly. You're live, my boy. Hit me with it.
I believe that very good pick just based on his value alone. And people in 2023 doubted him, and he won people championships in 2023. And you could stack him, just like you said, like with Lamb and then Dak or other people in the first round, and then build your team. And then, or if you didn't get the quarterback you needed, or you found a better value, you can stack it that way as well.
All right, rock out. Appreciate you. Anybody else has a question, drop a super chat or a question in the chat. I'll try and answer you. By the way, I was out and about today. I don't know if the guy's watching right now. But there's a guy who, I don't know if his car, he ran out of gas or if his car just broke. I think it was a nice vehicle, so it wasn't, it probably was gas or something just went out. But anyway, the family was in the truck, the car. And so I got out and my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter and I grabbed, the back of and we were pushing it with like 3 other people. There's like 7 of us pushing his car. And the guy had a Cardinal, decal on his back window. And I'm like, you a Cardinal fan, huh? And I'm like, you watch fantasy football? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, I gave him a card. I'm like, watch me tonight. Get in the comments. Let me know in the comments what your name is or whatever. And we ran off, got back in the vehicle. So I was out promoting while I was pushing a guy's truck. So if you're watching, pal, I forget what your name was, but appreciate you. Hope you got home. It's so funny because I always keep always keep some business cards, and I do some guerrilla marketing whenever I can. I'm not too big to do that. I still got some wiggle room, on the upward. But it was funny out there. My daughter is shaking her head. She thinks I'm such an idiot. She's like, God, this guy. I'm a Cardinal fan. You have a fantasy show yet? Here you go. Call in. Gump's on there. We got Denny. I didn't tell him that. I didn't tell him about our precious Beetlejuice and Baba Booey. But which we haven't heard from Denny yet. Denny, you need to call into the show, damn it. We haven't heard from you. He keeps sending me these messages via email. The last one I got was just wild. Here I am thinking that, let me see if I can find the message from Denny. Here I am thinking Denny's, still mad at me. I wasn't sure. I'll just read it off. It just says kisses in it, I think he put a heart emoji, I forget, but Denny still hasn't called in yet. Denny, call in. The phone line is ready for the taking. Go ahead, Travis.
Never know. You might meet a future sponsor show or something.
Yeah. We're always handing out. I'm always handing out business cards, telling people to watch. Yeah, Cardinals too. He had a Cardinal sticker. I had to help him. Anyway, real quickly, let me just go through a couple scenarios with you real quickly. Let me go to Rock Out and then over to Travis on this one. So, would you guys prefer Lamb, or someone offered you, and just assume that you kind of need these pieces? It's not like you're so loaded that you couldn't consider this, but if I offered you for your Lamb Bucky and DK for your Lamb, what are you saying, Rock Out, in a redraft PPR?
I would take it.
You take the Bucky and DK?
Yeah, I think it's a downgrade with the DK, but Bucky could be like a top 5.
Guys in the chat, vote. Which would you prefer? Assuming that it's going to help you. I'm not saying you've got nobody at your wide receiver spot, but like you're definitely plugging DK in. We got Chris says, give me Lamb.
I'll keep Lamb.
So what's the running back you would have?
I don't know. Just spitball it. Just in your head. Just imagine it. Bucky, if you need running backs, Lamb Goofies? Lamb Goofies?
Surface.
What are we doing? What are we doing there, Joe? What are we doing with the Goofies comment? Goofy's comment sounds goofy. Lamb. Brian says that's hard. A hard no. Lamb all day. Okay, so for those of you that said no to the DK side, if we up DK to, let's try this. Let's say you didn't have a good tight end, Laporta. Laporta and Bucky for Lamb. Let's say you don't really have a good tight end situation. It's okay, but not great. Bucky.
Lamb on
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Lamb still, says Matto. No still, says Brian. Garrett Wilson's almost like too big of a player, though. You're talking about, like, that's crazy. You'd have to give up something more. Yeah. I don't think anybody's giving you this.
Yeah. That's an instant.
You're talking about a second rounder
Me.
and a borderline bottom of round 2 guy. Like, you could make an argument even if ADP on G Willie is in the third a lot of the time. You could make an argument you're getting 2 bona fide stud second round players. So I don't think that's a question. I think you of course punched the guess on that. I guess, we talked about this earlier, but JSN and Bucky, you got to do that one, right? I'd trade Lamb for Bucky and JSN.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to trade Lamb. I'm not saying.
I'll say that.
I'm not saying I'm happy about this situation. I'll tell you that. But, other wide receiver that makes sense to toss out here would be, let me throw this one out because I am not the biggest Ladd McConkey guy this year comparatively to his value. It doesn't mean I don't like him. I'm not paying 15 overall value. This right here is for sure 2 second round picks. And I like the Garrett Wilson side more. And he's not so I assume everyone in here likes this, but I like Garrett Wilson more. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get a hell yeah on that, right? Drop your vote on that, guys. So let's see what everybody's saying on this one. Sharps in the 2.3 for Flowers. I'd take Sharps personally. This
in there.
McLaurin. Yeah, I think McLaurin. I think because he's at least a third. I think most people would be on the fence on that one. So we're getting
running back.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that next.
Yeah, let's push up the front.
Real quickly, let me throw one more out. Who wants this one? Higgins. Now, Ladd's got higher value than Higgins. What if you had Burrow? What if you had Burrow and Lamb? Is it triggering you to hit the accept button? Bucky and T in a heartbeat. See, I wondered if the Higgins over Ladd might trigger some people differently. Because even though the ADP for Ladd is hella high, I kind of feel like the Ladd McConkey, 14, 15 overall, is literally being driven by half of the drafters, and the other half don't like it, but it keeps happening because someone's gonna bite. I don't think that it's like where 9 or 10 or 11 out of 12 people love Ladd at 14 or 15. I think it's like 5 or 6, but they're so diehard they pull that trigger quickly on Ladd. And dare I say, in a non-best ball environment, Ladd's probably going in the 3rd round, and that's where I'm more comfortable with him. It's not that I hate him at all. Let's go. Okay, so Bucky. So Lamb, let's go heavier wide receiver and lighter running back. So let's go AJB. Obviously, you're not doing this straight up, so you need a second player. So now we can't throw a Bucky, and that's too powerful. I guess let me say Chase Brown and AJ Brown.
Oh, wow.
Who's saying no?
We're saying redraft.
Yeah, redraft.
I'll still go Lamb.
And it's Darius. It's guys like Darius that are continuing to take. No offense, Darius. Are continuing to take Ladd so high that we don't really even know what the majority of like his ADP is not. It's not a stable ADP. It's Darius sitting there going, can he be top 5? I love that. And then Darius snags him at 14 or 15 like the guys like Darius aren't letting him naturally fall. So we just really don't know. It's crazy. I'm not saying he can't have a phenomenal year, but he's even at risk of having another wide receiver like Ted McMillan or Ibuka or potentially Tyler Warren landing in that Chargers offense to make it a little bit more difficult to be even a second-round player. So, okay, so we got A.J. Brown all day. Lamb still, says Brian. Lamb says Pierce. A.J. B-side says Eli. Matto says Lamb side. Let's go with the RB. Okay, let's do two different. Let's do this one. Breece Hall and AJB. I mean, this one's tough because some people just hate Breece Hall. I don't know why.
Like, I get stuck on AGB. I'm just worried.
Matos is AJB.
Going to be the year that knee blows up.
Yeah. AJB is scary to me. Let's do one more. Let's go London and Hubbard. Curious what you guys think on that one. London and Chuba. Who's taking the London and Chuba side over Lamb? BTJ and Kyron is way too much, bro. Someone would be absolutely ludicrous to even consider not taking BT and Kyron. That's easy, bro. That's where'd my damn speaker go? That's light work.
Clockwork. That's clockwork.
Light work. We got a London and Chuba. We got two London and Chubas. London. Oh, Thomas is London. And we got a couple Lambs for sure.
Close to me. I really like Hubbard.
All right, let me try one more. Which this guy's got a much higher ADP, but there's risk. James Cook in London. Which on its face, you're like, you gotta like Cook more than Hubbard, right? Not necessarily, just because their ADPs are different. You know,
Hubbard more.
I like Hubbard's cost of entry more than James Cook higher, but at the same time, like your push comes to shove, are you liking this London and Cook combo more than the Hubbard? I don't know. It's really tough. And then let's do something a little crazy here. Let's do, okay, I got one. This is redraft, okay? And stop with the, it depends where they land. Stop. Like, pull your pants up, roll your sleeves up, and get ballsy for a second, okay? We know that nobody knows where these guys are going. That's the whole point of the exercise. BTJ and Hampton in redraft. Knowing what you know now, which is nothing. You take Lamb or BTJ and Hampton. And then I'm going to water it down a little.
Jay and Hampton.
Yeah, I would too. Let's see what everybody says here. BTJ and Hampton, knowing what you know now. MHJ and JT or CD. That's a good one. MHJ and JT. I think most people would take JT and MHJ though. BT side. Got a BT and Hampton easy, says Thomas. BT and Hampton. BT. That's an easy one. Okay, let's water. I knew I had to water it down a little. Instead of BTJ, we're gonna go St. Brown.
Henderson.
Which is, some might say they'd like to. You still would? Okay. We like that more.
What about,
or less?
Be Rice too far down the list?
No.
Receiver?
If we do that, we can get away with Rice and Kyron.
Rice and Hampton?
No, I mean, we could definitely do.
Yeah.
Vote on that St. Brown one real quick, guys. But Rashee Rice and Kyron.
Pretty good.
I'm smashing all day. Boom, boom, boom.
I'm taking the Rice and Kyron.
Oh yeah, for sure. Assuming we need, the running back and all that. Let's go. All right, I got a good one. This is redraft. Let's keep Rice on this. No. Let's make a little bit less a receiver. Let's go with okay. This one's gonna be a little controversial because people already don't love Debo. You either love Debo or you don't. People, you can tell by reading the comments. Like, I don't even like Debo. Debo's good. People can't even focus. Lamb or Debo and Genty redraft.
Good one.
We got the Rice and Kyron, Lamb, Rice and Kyron, Lamb, Amon-Ra. Okay, just reading those votes off. But let's vote on this one right here. Debo to replace your lamb chops, but you get Genty. Brian says gross. Okay, Brian. Okay, Brian. Lamb won't have number 11 numbers. Lamb. Debo, Genty. Damn, that's tough. I got Lamb. Genty, MHJ. We could do that one next. Debo, Genty. And I love Debo on Washington. This is Thomas, but damn, that's tough. Gotta go Lamb.
Gotta take Genty.
Redraft Lamb. All right, now let's say you were able to get MHJ. I think I definitely take the MHJ side. I love MHJ more than Debo. So if I'm gonna take that other one, maybe then you're definitely taking this one. But let's see what you guys think on that one. Perry says, "What do I mean
I like that
by
though,
redraft? Redraft means not dynasty. It means you're redrafting every year, yearly league. Redraft Lamb." Yeah, I don't know why people hate Debo so much. It's wild. Mr. G says the package deal. He likes the package deal. What do we got? Vote on this one. Lamb, MHJ. MHJ and Genty. Says Bruce. Bruce in the building. What's up, Bruce? Man, I got to take the Lamb side still, says Thomas. Does he mean completely redraft? Perry, if you're not playing in Dynasty, you're playing in redraft. Redraft is not a Dynasty league or a keeper league. You redraft every year. You know, once the season's over, your teams don't stay or anything. That's called yearly league or redraft. MHJ gonna be number 1 wide receiver this year. Lico, you're always with the wild stuff, bro. And MHJ and Genty all day. That's a solid down tier from Lamb. Brian finally says he'll take the package deal. MHJ says Matto. MHJ Genty says Space Ricky. MHJ. Looks like we got a clear winner in the MHJ Genty. Okay, enough of this. Phone lines are open. We won't be here too long today. So file on in. I decided to join an underdog draft without you guys because sometimes I need to make sure I'm not just doing these, with you guys in them all the time. I just can't draft and show examples of what to do, when to do it, how to do it when we're getting sniped left and right. So I'm not going to go through the whole draft, but the phone line's open while I go through the first handful of rounds, and we'll break it down. I got the 1 pick. I went Jamar Chase, and we'll see what happens as I get downstream here. So I went Jamar Chase, Barkley, Gibbs, Bijan, JJ, Lamb, McCaffrey. What? What? We're back in time. Gonna go back in time. Yeah. Neighbor. So it went CMC, BTJ, Neighbors, Puka, Nico, Amon-Ra, and now this guy. I bet this guy takes Genty. No, maybe. No, he already went. Genty already went? Wait. Oh, no. Hold on. There he is. Yeah, Genty. He's going to take Genty. CMC. That's crazy, man. You want to take him in the second round. I get it. Especially in best ball, I get it. But is anybody going to draft CMC in a redraft league or Perry yearly league? I don't. I mean, that's crazy taking CMC that high in a non-best ball, especially. You're not going to take him in a Dynasty league, but I do wonder, like, how cheap he is in Dynasty, though. Like, dare I say, if he costs a second rounder or something, I'm giving that up. I might be the only guy on the planet going after CMC. Maybe just to, but I don't know. I think people that own him probably aren't going to get rid of him that cheap. They're just going to ride it until the wheels fall off. So Amon-Ra and Henry, and then Genty got paired up with Nico. The 10 pick who took Puka grabbed Bowers. The 9 pick who took Neighbors grabbed Achane. BT owner grabbed AJ Brown. The McCaffrey owner grabbed Drake London. The Ceedee Lamb owner is on the clock right now. I normally try and draft the man of the hour, the topic of the hour, but because I, didn't want to take Ceedee Lamb 1, you got to take Jamar Chase. I have to adjust and adapt and show that. But I would love to have grabbed Ceedee Lamb in this draft. If I had anything but the 1 or 2 pick, I probably would have. I might have even done it at 2 just to do it. And there's nothing wrong with reaching, I think, to that degree. I really think Lamb is good enough to in best ball be argued as the number 2 overall player if you wanted. Because best ball you can't trade. So it's not like as long as you're reaching within reason, and Lamb at 2 or 3 or 4 overall in a non PPR or a 0.5 PPR or PPR makes sense. All right, back-to-back picks here. I've got Jamar Chase. I'll probably go Bucky here. I could go Garrett Wilson if I want, or JSN, but I think I'm gonna go Kyron. So Kyron's been climbing a little bit, but he's still cemented into round 3. So I'm gonna go with the 2 RBs, Bucky and Kyron, to pair with my Jamar Chase. Feel pretty damn good about that. I might try and grab Burrow later. We'll see. We'll see if that T. Higgins owner at the 2 slot, he might try and snag Burrow, which is fine. I'm not a I have to stack players at all type of guy. I could get Stafford later, whatever. Not that I really want to stack Stafford and Kyron all that much, but what were you saying, Rockout?
Yeah, that's crazy that Bucky fell to you there.
Yeah, that was pretty good. He normally goes about 3 or 4 picks earlier, maybe 2 picks earlier. So Bucky, Kyron, and Jamar Chase. I don't think I've gotten that in a while. I used to get it early on in the offseason, but I haven't gotten that combo in a while. It's pretty good. Garrett Wilson's straight up good value. Like, look at DJ Moore going before Garrett Wilson. I'm not saying DJ Moore can't outproduce even JSN or Terry McLaurin. Like, it's possible, but hell no am I banking on that or betting on it. Especially with Odunze, maybe looking to take over. Doesn't make any sense. Like, Garrett Wilson's a steal. Terry McLaurin, Josh Jacobs, Marvin Harrison Jr. It's great value at 31 to, all the way down to 30, 36. Breece Hall at 32 is such good value. Lamar, Mike Evans, Xavier Worthy. Woo. All right, what's this guy doing at the 12 pick? He's got back-to-backs here. Amon-Ra, Derrick Henry, and Devontae Adams. Scott loves the old guys. He's like, give me... Who's he going here? Cooper Kupp? I mean, I'm not dogging the strategy. I'm just saying I could... Henry, Devontae. Devontae's tough in the 3rd. I know it's the 3-4 turn, so it's like your 4th rounder. Okay, Rice. It's an interesting team. Could be good. Nico, Genty, Xavier Worthy, J-Mo. I don't like J-Mo in round 4. You guys know that by now. I love J-Mo, but I don't love J-Mo at 38 overall. Way too early.
Like, is he in the best 4?
I mean, in the 30s? What are we doing in the 30s? I mean, J-Mo in the 30s is just... Doesn't make sense. All right, we got Josh Allen off the board. Should have been off the board as the first quarterback. That's crazy. Zay Flowers. Could JD5 fall to me? I don't even know if I want to be put in that situation. We'll see who's there. Hampton. Okay.
Come on, make it back.
This spot I'm in is really tough because there's JD5. It's really tough because it's like you a lot of times miss this cutoff. You get Chase, you get the 2 RBs, but it does come at a cost. You're sitting there at mother freaking 48 overall, and it's like if you just were at 45, you would have been plenty happy. George Kittle, but maybe I'll get lucky here. I got Burrow probably still there, but this guy here at the 2 slot might take him. And I don't even need to take, like, I'm fine with Hurts. If Hurts falls, I'm so fine with Hurts. Hurts might not fall, but if he does, this guy's got wide receiver. Dare I? Okay, he went running back. Chase Brown, nice pick. James Cook, I'm not wanting him anyway, so I love when he goes. Devonta Smith, I like that. It's not bad. I could have went Smith and Hurts. That would have been great. All right, who's up? Hurts and Burrow are still there. I'm getting one of them if I want. But see the cutoff? It's like Hurts, Burrow, Metcalf, Ted McMillan. Okay, Dunze went. Joe Mixon, Cortland Sutton, Addison, Godwin. I mean, I like Hubbard, but like the drop-off was huge. The other thing I'm trying to consider is that, and I could just bully QB, but Mahomes sometimes falls to this like 72 pick. But I'm going to go ahead and take... I'm going to take Joe Burrow. I might bully QB this. Do I go DK or do I take Jalen Hurts? I honestly don't. I mean, I like Hubbard a little bit right here, but do I just go double QB and bully QB this thing? Or do I go DK?
I'd do it. Quarterback.
Let's try it.
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's try bully QB. And for anybody who doesn't know what bully QB is, it means you're in a 1 QB league. So this is not super flex, obviously, or you wouldn't see these quarterbacks sitting here in the 4th and 5th round. And you take both QBs. Why? Because you are not held accountable for a bad start. What bully QB means is that in best ball, your top scoring quarterback starts for you automatically. So I just sit back and I have the best quarterback room of anybody. And if Burrow outscores Hurts, Burrow starts for me. If Hurts outscores Burrow, Hurts starts for me. And it guarantees you like domination at the quarterback position. There's no way you call it right if you're doing it outside of best ball because you pick the wrong quarterback every week and it'd screw you. So you can't really bully QB in a non-best ball environment. This is where when you first heard of best ball, you probably thought it was Mickey Mouse games. Like, what, you don't start anybody? Does your best starting lineup get started for you? Like, you have training wheels on? It was initially tough to swallow, I admit, even when I heard about it. But this is a long time ago. But you start to realize that all the other ins and outs and strategies are well more than taking care of your thirst for a challenge. So, and this allows you to draft thousands of teams if you want. Hundreds of teams, but thousands if you want. And not have to worry about setting lineups, and you get to use your skill to win big money if you land stuff. So best ball is amazing. And how do you play? Links in the chat, pinned in the live chat. It's also in the description of the video, and I just dropped it in the live chat again. An underdog will match up to 1,000 in bonus credits on your first deposit and put an extra pick in your account. All right, so after my Hurts pick, it went Tet, DK, Cortland Sutton, Joe Mixon, Kamara, Walker, Chris Godwin, Jalen Waddle, Trey Henderson, Laporta, Addison, Cuba. Dare I say I probably trigger a Mahomes drafting early because I scooped up an extra quarterback, so I'm probably pushing Mahomes up a little bit. Let me go over to Bruce, who's live right now. Bruce, see you're live. What can I do for you?
Question is, what's up, guys?
What's up?
You're doing a thing on Lamb. Would you do Brock Bowers and, let's say, a St. Brown?
For Lamb? Yeah. Bowers,
Yeah.
And St. Brown, I mean, think about it. We asked the Laporta question, who's going around 4 or 5, and there's some yeses on that. So Bowers and St. Brown for Lamb all day. Yeah, boom. Do it live. I like just to help you conceptualize this even more. Give me McBride and St. Brown all day.
So I'm making trades, and I'm kind of like, oh.
I wish great.
One that I got MHJ. Okay.
Yeah. I wish Trey Henderson wasn't going so high. All right, so there's one. Let's see, James Conner. So 3 picks until I'm up. We got Najee there. We've got Mahomes still there. God, do I triple QB? Do I try it? Oh my God. Do I triple QB? I'm definitely going to be hurting if I do that. But I mean, I don't think I've ever been set up. I could triple QB it if I want. He just took Najee. I don't know if he's watching. I mean, I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know if I've been set up to even be able to deploy this properly. So honestly, I don't love a lot of these picks. I probably will take. Do I take Pickens? Do I take Travis Hunter or Pickens? Do I get ballsy and take Travis Hunter? I'm gonna go triple QB.
Yep.
Do it.
Triple QB or Hunter?
No, I got back to backs. I got back to backs. So do I go Pickens though? Who's the much safer pick, but is it really safer? Like let's go ballsy. Let's go balls to the wall with this.
Yeah, try it.
Look at this.
Can't be shy. Can't win anything.
What are we calling triple? What are we calling the triple QB? It's not bully. It's like, what's worse than a bully?
Demolition.
This is bully. I don't know what we call this. This is crazy. I mean, no one's outscoring my QB room, I'll tell you that. But the problem is, am I going to get caught behind? I don't know. Look at this team. It's pretty good. Bucky, Kyron, Jamar Chase, Travis Hunter, and the arguably, 2 top 2 or 3 QBs with Mahomes.
You definitely won't lose that quarterback any week.
I like this. I'm actually really, really excited about what it can. I'm hoping I get the right combinations. I don't even want to say it because I don't know who's in this draft. I feel like maybe we could have I bet this guy at the 2 spot's pissed as hell. He's like, okay, you took Burrow, you son of a b. And then I took Hurts. And then I took Mahomes.
The tripod quarterback.
Let's go. You can have your opinions about it, Tebow. You can have your opinions about it all you want. You also got to consider that I'm making my field a little bit weaker too at the quarterback position, the most dominant scoring position that there is. So you got to understand that it is also a tool as well. I'm not saying there aren't other good quarterbacks. I'm just saying I'm taking away some firepower. I'm looking up synonyms for bully. Yeah, definitely. It would be like
straight destroy.
It's like, I don't know. It's politically incorrect. Drafting 3 QBs is completely politically incorrect. You are triggering some people by drafting 3 QBs.
Definitely a couple words you could use that you can't use.
Yeah. Hunter is dicey. He might be dicey to you, Jake. You know why he's dicey? People don't like trying to predict what's going to happen. People are going to be licking their wounds when Travis Hunter becomes a superstar. It's going to be so fun to reflect on. Dare I say the Travis Hunter doubt? And people are going to say, I liked him. I just wanted to see. No, stop telling me you like him. Like, Jake, you're not allowed to like him anymore, by the way, on this channel at least. You cannot make statements like this and act like you like him or act like you're on the train. Hunter is dicey, but he says, I like it better at best ball. Okay, I guess you can be on the train, Jake. We'll let you on the train. Jake barely escaped that one because it's kind of a negative. Like you're dropping it, you're saving it, but you are bringing it up in a negative way. A little bit. We'll let it slide. Cooper Kupp, that would have been an intriguing pick for me. I would have been okay with that. Okay, we're 4 picks away. Jaylen Warren. Hold on one second, Bruce. Hold on. Ramondre's there. Caleb. Oh, man. Caleb went. Let's get man. I could get Travis Kelce here if I wanted. I could go Charbonnet and just swing big again. Should I grab Scottaboo? He's probably going to get, I don't know. He's probably, that's so tough. I could get Kelce if I wanted. I don't think I love these receivers here. I could go Travis Etienne and try and grab that stack. I don't know. Let's go. I'm going to go Sharps. I'm going to keep swinging big. Okay, I'm up again though. Do I go Scottaboo? Do I go Tank Bigsby? Do I go, I probably got to grab somebody that's a little more secure. I need a wide receiver. Jalen McMillan is there, but that's tough.
I like the bold picks though. Shoot for the stars of this one.
Go Scat here. My wide receivers are gonna be a little bit rough, but I'm gonna grab like Yoshi Voss later, which is gonna be kind of a secret weapon move for me because I've got Burrow, I've got Jamar Chase, I've got Yoshi Voss. I'm kind of packaged into some safe value there. I want to get home run players. I want to get home run players with this team. So the team is bully QB times, triple bully QB. Burrow, Hurts, Mahomes, Bucky, Kyron, Charbonnet, Scat. And my flex is clearly I'm aiming it for it to be an RB. Jamar Chase, Travis Hunter. Very, very solid team. Risky, sure. Sure.
I like it though.
I like it a lot.
You have your stud.
T-Ball,
wide receiver, running back.
T-Ball, I bet you these receivers still beat your wide receiver. T-Ball, you'll draft 4 wide receivers in rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, and your receivers are never even better than my 4 wide receivers when I draft only 1 in the first 4 rounds. You know what I'm saying, T-Ball? Just because you draft early wide receivers doesn't make them good. We'll see what happens coming up here. So far, so good. I mean, I like Evan Ingram. That's a really crafty pick, or could be a very crafty pick. Was that early? I don't know. Jonu Smith, who's available? Let's see what happens. We got a long ways to go to come back to my pick. I'm sorry, we got a super chat's been waiting here. David, how long you been waiting, David? David, are you still here? Burrow, Chase with running back BPA, maybe. JSN, build nice, good stuff. Thanks, DJ. Oh, that's DJ. He calls in a lot. DJ, I'm sorry I didn't see this till right now. Burrow, Chase with a running back BPA, maybe. I don't really know what this is referencing, but yeah. Burrow, Chase. Yes, love Burrow, Chase. Like I've got here, and then the 2 RBs more than anything. Like if I get Jamar Chase, I'm probably going, because of the value at RB, I'm probably going RB. Not because I'm planning it out and cementing in a strategy early, but because I've done enough drafts to know that BPA is almost always going to be RB for me. And remember that BPA is contingent upon the team you have already assembled, the drafters you're drafting with, the tendencies of everybody. the likelihood people go wide receiver, and think that there's, tremendous value in that approach over anything else. Jordan Mason, I like that pick too. I'm glad Mason's off the board because I don't want to be tempted to go RB down here again. I want everybody that I wanted RB gone. Look at all the quarterbacks going too. That's fantastic. We're a few picks away. Ingram's amazing.
Yeah, you're going to be outscoring people at quarterback.
Yeah.
So often, that's going to give you
a huge advantage. Like, and keep in mind, so man, all these players I don't want. I like Dak though. I've made that abundantly clear, but I don't want him in this draft. So Dak going there, that's beautiful. Brock, Drake May. I think people are panicking on QB. Michael Pittman Jr., I wouldn't have taken him. Another quarterback, Jordan Love. Look at us, we're flying. We're flying.
Lining up nice.
Okay. Damn it, Tank Bigsby's there. I'm so tempting. It's so tempting. I'm tempted to do it. I'm not going to do it. I need a receiver. Hollywood's there. 7 seconds left for this guy to draft. Let's see what he does. Marvin Mims. He's kind of intriguing, but let's see. He's timing out. He timed out on Kraft. Man, I really wish that Kelsey had fallen.
You have back-to-back?
Yeah, Jaden Higgins is interesting. I don't know that I want to. I got to take it. I'll just cue him in case I time out. I mean, I could go Bigsby and Higgins and just say, screw it. I'll let Higgins get...
Oh, I mean, Bigsby kind of fits with your running back that you're going to count on one or two of those guys, him and Charbonnet.
Yeah, if I like these receivers more, like Marvin Mims, Bateman, Hollywood, like I'd much rather go down here.
Yeah,
I mean, I could. I'm gonna make Bigsby cute. Njoku, I don't really love any of these picks, so we'll go Jaden Higgins, who I like a lot, and then we'll time out on Bigsby. So I think we're pretty good at RB.
Yeah, I like that RB room though.
Higgins
Bigsby rounds it out.
I mean, it's definitely going to be risky at the wide receiver position, but that's what I'm building here. I'm building a baked-in risk of my wide receiver 3. I'm not worried about Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter is going to make everyone look like a fool that thinks he's a bad wide receiver 2. He's not. Where I'm going to go dicey, and again, I got my Yoshi Voss plan. I've got a few other tricks up my sleeve. I don't even care. I am going to find a gem at wide receiver 3, 4, 5, and everybody can watch and get on for the ride. Everything else I'll be dominating at. So if I land my wide receiver 3, for the people that are so uncomfortable to try this, don't worry. Let the big boys do it. Brian, see you later, bro. No, I mean, got my running backs. I don't think anybody's going to compete with me at RB. I don't think no one's going to compete with me at quarterback. I got Bucky, Kyron, Zach Charbonnet, Scattaboo, Bigsby. I got Jamar Chase, Hunter, and Higgins. Higgins is very, very fun risk. And if I get, I don't think anybody in here is from the show. Because I mean, it could be. It could be. I don't know. I guess I haven't looked at all the names. Let me see here. Because I hate to tell my strategy and then I get sniped, but I don't recognize anybody. Is anybody in the draft from the show? Because I have some tricks up my sleeve. And I don't want to necessarily spill the beans. But I love that people think, like, look, let's go back up for the Zach Charbonnet Cam territory. For people that think just because you aren't drafting a wide receiver, you're making a mistake because you need it. Look at the 8-round and 9-round lines where I took Zach Charbonnet and Scattaboo. Josh, look at for all the orange players on row 8 and row 9. Josh Downs. Cooper Kupp went before my pick. just to remind everybody. Diggs went before my pick. Egbuka went before my pick. Mooney, McMillan. I could have went Mooney or McMillan. And then down here, Christian Kirk, Shaheed, Coleman. Those, you're not making or breaking the season on those. I could find guys that have the same kind of upside. Dylan Sampson, the briefcase, just went at 139. Hollywood Brown was a guy I was considering. I'm not going to lie, because I got Mahomes. Trey Benson. Who else went in this round? Not a lot of wide receivers. After Bateman, it was Marvin Mims and Hollywood, and that's it. So we're on the clock here. Why do I hear a vibration? Is someone drafting in this draft? Or is somebody just drafting in another draft on the phone line? Speak up. Romeo Dobbs. We're really not admitting they weren't a draft? I like Coker.
Yeah, Coker.
Coker's pretty good here.
Coker's nice. Romeo Dobbs has big games too.
Cedric Tillman's not bad.
Oh.
Cedric Tillman's not bad at all. Javonte. Okay, so if I go... Dobbs. That's tough. Do I go Kyle Pitts and Coker? Because I still have a tight end need. I'm going to go Coker.
Give you that upside. You want to hit the tight end. I like Coker.
I got Coker already.
It probably has the most upside.
Yeah, like Dobbs I like, but I think I could get a player I like even better than, that can produce. I'm going to hit that tight end spot so that I'm not playing from behind there. So Kyle Pitts, Coker, Higgins, Hunter, Jamar Chase, Bucky, Kyron, Charbonnet, Scatterboo, Bigsby, Burrow, Hurts, Mahomes. This is a crazy team. I love it.
I like it, yeah. You did you did the Carolina wide receiver stack earlier this year one time, right?
Yeah, I'm tempted to
Coker, Leggett.
Hard to know if it will fall though. We'll see.
Someone in the chat was talking about it. Sneaky
way. I usually do that if they fall right, but I had to get pitched there.
Yeah.
Hey, Smitty.
And especially if I get Yoshi Voss later, anybody that's going to make fun of this wide receiver room without the consideration of the other positions, like you're just making fun of yourself. But to have Travis Hunter, Jamar Chase, and then this rotation of, yes, I'm taking some stabs, but they're strategic. I like Jaden Higgins a lot. And Jalen Coker, I like a lot. I'm not saying that I'm banking on them necessarily. I'm still going at the position hardcore with some sleepers, but you put Yoshi Voss in there all of a sudden, and I don't know.
Yeah, Jason Burrow.
I'm fine with that being the weak link of my team. Like I understand what I'm playing with here. I understand how big the fire is that I'm playing with, and the other positions are rocking it. The problem is you get these conservative Calebs that are like, they can't understand it, they can't accept it. They're like, I don't like that you're having a weak wide receiver. Would you rather me water down my RBs? I just would have taken 3 quarterbacks. Well, that's the difference between you and me, pal. Thomas says, let me send you my $100 draft team, Smitty. It sounds like you're trying to send me $100 at first there, Thomas. I was thinking we were going somewhere here.
I hope so.
But he's saying, let me send you my $100 draft team. Smitty, I don't know what you think. Well, I'm in the middle of this draft, Thomas. I'll try and look at it. Okay, Noah Gray. Yes, that. And especially if I had Kelsey, I would have taken Gray. And I still could, but that was. David, thank you for the super chat, my boy. All right. Oh, Freedom, that's your decision. Again, Freedom, you're just falling into exactly the kind of, commentary I'm talking about. Like, you got to understand what I'm trying to do here. It's It's wild how many people can't accept a challenge like this, and they get so uncomfortable about it. They're like, I just wanted to take a 3 cube. I know you wouldn't. That's why I'm doing what I do, and you do what you do. Okay? I'm out here trying to make history here. We're sitting here. Dobbs is still there. Tillman's there. Those are pretty damn good QBs. Now, do I grab one of them and grab Blake Corum though, because he will be gone the next time we swing around. And then I'm done at running back though. But I don't know that I need it, but it is nice.
Garendo's gone now, right?
Yeah, I would be done at RB, but I will need one more RB. So do I go Tillman and Dobbs and let Corum go, or do I go one of those guys? I'm gonna go. I like Tillman a lot. Dobbs is a little safer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Tillman. Okay, so do I go Dobbs? I went Tillman. Do I go Dobbs or do I grab Corum? Chat, you can speak up too.
Like Dobbs. Where do you go, though?
Or do I go Isaiah Bond? Really like him.
I like Bond. Roll the dice.
I'm gonna grab Bond. I love Isaiah Bond. I know he's in some trouble right now, but
all right.
I'm not gonna worry about the cuffing.
And the thing is, too, I don't know who had said it in the chat. They said maybe it was Freedom. If you don't have an injury, then you're wasting a spot. But you're not drafting about injuries. You did the bully quarterback 3 times, and you just guaranteed you're winning that 90% of the week.
Yeah.
That's the strategy.
You got to understand too that I am making everyone's job a little bit harder at quarterback. So that's an advantage on top of me outscoring everybody at quarterback. It's a twofold, punch in the face.
You saw that panic run that QBs went on there in those couple of rounds.
The reason I went Bond at the end of the day is because even if Kyron were to get hurt, there's no saying that Corum's going to be the same. He's not going to be producing Kyron stats. And the truth is, he still might not unseat Tank Bigsby if he's full go, or Charbonnet if he's full go, or can't. It would have been nice to maybe cuff, at least one RB, so that if I had an injury with Kyron or Bucky and I didn't have Charbonnet, Scat, or Tank in there, which is a possibility. It's a small possibility that I could have potentially, but Corum, I'm not as excited about Corum. Corum's the kind of guy that could be like, he could be the kind of guy like he's not even for sure the backup mid-season for some reason. Like he's not guaranteed anything. So
that's the thing. Rams could draft the guy and just keep draft a running back, and someone could be pushing right away.
Yeah, I'm going to be smashing quarterback. Just smashing.
Technically, Bucky kind of has 2 backups, so one of them is left, for sure.
So here's the thing is Burrow, yeah. Burrow is 329.5 projected, Hurts 345 projected, Mahomes 320, and I think Mahomes is going to be right there with those guys. The thing about it is, like, I venture to say that I'm probably getting something along the lines of like 375, 380, maybe higher, maybe 400, who knows? Because I'm going to get the best of all of them. So the projection is the ups and downs come with it. And having 3 of them, I'm probably going to outscore everybody at QB by at least 70 to 100 points. Let me do some early reconnaissance here. Zach Ertz is interesting. I like that. Jalen Royals is okay. Kyle Williams, A.D. Mitchell, Amari Cooper, Shador. No thanks. I don't need another quarterback, but if I didn't have a quarterback here, I would definitely be interested in his services. Michael Wilson, I like him a lot. Kyler says he's a 1,000-yard receiver. Yoshi Voss's ADP is 216, and our next pick would be 216. So if I want Yoshi Voss, I got to take him here, which I probably will do. Because I can't afford to let him, even though it's like 2 rounds early of a pick, we're at round 16. I don't give a shit at this point. So Yoshi Voss is going to be one of my picks no matter what. Kyle Williams just went. You know, I feel pretty good about my receivers, believe it or not. But Jaden Higgins, Coker, Tillman, Bond. I'll definitely take Yoshi Voss here, but I might take Zach Ertz. Or do I take A.D. Mitchell?
Oh, look at what other wide receivers are there, like other guys further down too.
Oh, I'm gonna time out. Okay, I went Yoshi Voss. Do I take Michael Wilson?
Yeah, why not?
Or do I?
I think you can fill up the tight end spot. Yeah.
Wait, his ADP is 210. Oh yeah, he'll be gone though. Okay. Damn, yeah, he'll be gone. Do I go to Michael Wilson or Ertz? Michael Wilson or Ertz? Quick, 3 seconds.
I like Ertz.
Michael Wilson.
I'll go Wilson.
Love the
I timed out Ertz. Yeah, I timed out on Ertz. Okay.
Like it.
All right. So we got Ertz and Kyle Pitts. We got Yoshi Voss. My receivers, I mean, I'm still going to stack another 1 or 2 on there, but Chase, Hunter, Jaden Higgins, Coker, Tillman, Bond, Yoshi Voss, Kyle Pitts, and Ertz. My running backs are Bucky, Kyron, Charbonnet, Scat, Bigsby, and Burrow, Hurts, Mahomes. Like, you look at the team and you kind of say to yourself, like if someone was to try and evaluate this team without knowing what quarterbacks I had. So if I started from the bottom, I just joined the live stream right now, and I'm like, Kyle Pitts, Ertz, Chase, Hunter, Jaden Higgins, Coker, Tillman, Bond, Yoshi Voss. They're like, okay, yeah, thin at wide receiver. I like his tight ends. Those are not bad. I of course love Jamar Chase, and I like Hunter. But then let's see what he's got at RB. Bucky, Kyron, Sharp, Scatterboot, Tank, Bigsby, and you're kind of like, okay, yeah, it's pretty good. Like you probably have, the top quarterback. You got to have like JD5 or Josh Allen or something like that. And it's like Burrow, Hurts, Mahomes. So I think it's pretty good. Like, is it as good lineup wise if you could only pick one quarterback to start as other teams? Probably not. But it depends on the receivers. It depends on a lot. It's not a strategy anybody should be deploying every day, by the way. Like, this is a ballsy move for a fun show. And second of all, you're rarely going to be set up to do what I did, which was not force it. I was literally looking at Hurts and going, I don't like these players as much. Let's bully it up. And let's go Burrow and Hurts. And then when I got back and Mahomes was there, I didn't like any of the picks that were there either. So I said, let's try it. Like, you rarely get set up for it. You got to do it when it feels right and, try it. But what are you not going to try one of these $5 or $10 drafts and do some creative strategies to try and smash everybody in a new way? I mean, how boring is that?
A lot of people don't realize Rich was the tight end 7 last year. He had 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, how awesome it will be. This isn't a best ball mania, so you win one of these, big boards, little boards. I don't think anybody even talks about it, which is kind of a shame that they don't celebrate the winner of all these different tournaments, but or contests. But if you know how cool it would be to win one of these with a badass strategy, like. Because people will be looking at it and going, how the hell do you do that? How do we do it? How do we replicate it? Like, this is what you live for. If you're a best ball connoisseur, you're not play it safe, Sammy. No offense, Tebow, but you like your objections to it. Like, I'm not saying you're being crazy negative to it, but you're a little bit. And it's like, this is what you live for. To try and invent something new. You think that when the light bulb was invented or the plane was invented, there weren't some, what is the hell's this guy doing? He's electrocuting himself. Like, of course, we're trying to reinvent the light bulb, my boy. This is not going to be easy work.
I'm thinking.
And if we're going to win one of these other
regular draft.
I can't hear you, Bruce. Sounds like you're whispering.
I said I'm going to try one of these strategies, but like in one of my regular leagues, like Bruce quarterback and make him pay a high price for one.
Michael Wilson was there. Yeah, Michael Wilson was there, so I took him. That's great.
Oh, nice, you left.
Probably go Sean Tucker here if I can't find another player that I love. I don't love anybody here. I'm going to take Sean Tucker. And that puts me in a really, really solid running back state here where I've got Bucky and Sean Tucker now cuffed. That feels really good. I think he's one of the best cuffs in the game right now. And you might say, what about Rashad White? Rashad White's like a peripheral player in that situation. Like if Bucky goes down, Tucker goes in. And White doesn't really move. Right. So our last pick. I need probably another tight end. Because I have 3 QBs. I have plenty of running backs. I got plenty of receivers. And honestly, to be quite frank, I think Michael Wilson might be my wide receiver 3. Like I really think he's gonna have 900 to 1,000 yards and like 7 or 8 touchdowns, 6-7 touchdowns. I think he's gonna have a really good year. That's a really good receiver. Like he's a very good receiver. This is a very sneaky wide receiver. But I love Yoshi Voss. I love Isaiah Bond. I think Tillman was, it wasn't until Winston got in there and then Tillman got hurt, I believe, that Judy took over. But like Tillman there was a moment in time, if anybody can reflect back on it, when Tillman was like being ranked as a top 10 Dynasty wide receiver in a short window of time. There were people creating, and I'm not saying I was a part of that. I'm just saying there were people going, hey, Tillman might be a top 10 wide receiver because he had such a fast rise and then a complete fall off. People were going buck wild on this kid for a very short period of time. They were obviously jumping the gun. But I'm merely saying once Winston got in there and started laser locking on Judy, people forgot and wrote Tillman off. There were people going so crazy on Tillman. Yeah, but will Michael Wilson ever be a top 5 wide receiver on any given week? What the hell are you talking about, Tebow? I drafted the guy as one of my last wide receivers. Who needs that? Who's expecting that from their 19th round pick, my boy? What are you talking about? Back there. I don't remember the Tillman thing. Yeah, it was like, I remember we were talking about Dynasty wide receivers and we would get constant chatter about, what about Tillman? it was very in passing. It was in like suggested, what do you feel about trading for Tillman? What do you feel about if you're talking about sneaky top 12 wide receiver going forward in Dynasty? What about Tillman? What was his? Let me pull up his game logs because there's
like 2 or 3 games, right? All he had.
Yeah, there was a very short shot of production, and the Tillman fan club grew so fast, so quick, and it fell off the face of the earth. And it was really 3 weeks long. So it was yeah. And then he got hurt. Look, it was a fantastic production. Like I'll put it up on the screen. It was 81 yards, and then the next week 99 and 2 touchdowns. And then 75 and 1 touchdown. And people just thought, and rightfully so, they were excited about him. But people just thought because, he not only delivered, he looked the part. And he was a really good receiver. Like, he looks really solid. I just don't know where he is in the pecking order. But it was this 3-game stretch where people were like, oh my God, this guy's here. He's here. And I'm just saying he's kind of an intriguing player in like the 18th, 19th round. because his fan club thought he was going to be, the golden boy. But 12 targets, 9 targets, 11 targets right here on this column. Receptions, 876. Yardage, 81, 99, 75. Touchdowns, 0, 2, 1. And did he have any rushing? Let me see if there was any rushing, because it might have, no. Nothing there. And then he got hurt. And then, so, Judy. All I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to say anything other than people taking this the wrong way won't be listening to what I'm trying to accomplish here with this. I'm just saying he's a nice grab. There's a lot of intrigue there. Do I go Noah Gray? I think that's the move. Here you can see the tight ends on screen here. Theo Johnson, Fannin Jr., the rookie, Arroyo. I think it's going to be Noah Gray. Got a lot of appeal. And I have Mahomes, so it makes sense. Okay, so pretty much, dare I say, I knocked, and you can say whatever you want. You say that I'm completely off base here. But I think a lot of these teams got knocked down a peg because your boy grabbed these high-scoring projected quarterbacks, and there's a lot of points being projected by the three that I have. So I think, you see these three. Look at this 3,400 ranked team. Herbert, Stafford, Anthony Richardson, Carr. First of all, Anthony Richardson and Carr might not score any points for him at all. So his quarterback room is getting lambasted 10 times over by my quarterback room. Chase Brown, Mixon, Connor, Jalen Warren, and Brian Robinson Jr. I'm beating his quarterback room to a bloody pulp. His wide receivers are better than mine. I get that. I understand what time it is. I understand that I'm sacrificing at my wide receiver 3, 4, 5. He's got JJ, Tyreek Hill, but who knows what goes on there. McLaurin, Shakir, Hollywood Brown. Dare I say his depth isn't any crazier, different than mine, really. He's got a much better wide receiver 3. But then it kind of evens out after Shakir. It kind of is the same. Quentin Johnson, Pierce, Tutu, Atwell. I like Atwell a little bit, but Mark Andrews, Hunter Henry, and Higbee. I got better tight ends. So I crush him at quarterback. I crush him at running back. He beats me pretty good at receiver, but I think it's deceptive to a degree. But he beats me. I'd take his receivers in a heartbeat, but I beat him at tight end. I don't see how that team's gonna knock me off. Here's the 3,000 ranked team. Baker, McCarthy, and Dart. He's going to get crushed. Not to mention, what if McCarthy's not playing? What if Dart's not playing or even playing well? And Baker, I love him. He's exciting, but you can't count on Baker as your number one quarterback with no backup plan. This guy's getting lambasted for a living by me at the quarterback position. Derrick Henry, Chuba, Aaron Jones, Pacheco, Dowdle. I like my running backs better. Wide receiver. I like his wide receivers better, for sure. Not trying to, lie to myself. Amon-Ra, Adams, Rashee Rice, Jordan Addison, Christian Kirk, Thielen. But does that difference between his wide receivers, my Jamar Chase, Travis Hunter, and then the combination of everything that I have to try and find that next Michael Wilson Jr., is it him? Is it Yoshi Voss? Is it Tillman? Is it whoever to compete with his? Maybe Adams drops off. We don't even know how consistent Adams will be or if he stays healthy. And he's got Likely, Gesicki, and Schultz. I like Likely, but he's not a lock. Gesicki's not a lock. Schultz isn't a lock. I crush this team as well. So Burrow, Hurts, Mahomes. No contest. No one holds a candle to that QB room. Bucky, Kyron, Charbonnet, Scatterboo, Tank Bigsby, Sean Tucker. I love it. I don't know if there's a better... I'm not going to comb through all the teams. I don't know if there's a better running stable. There could be. But I love my running stable. Jamar Chase, Travis Hunter, Jaden Higgins, Coker, Tillman, Bond, Yoshi Voss, Michael Wilson. I realize how this looks to the average person, but I don't care. The deficiency I've created for myself willingly has been more than made up for at every other position, which I believe including tight end. Because I think Kyle Pitts, Zach Ertz, and Noah Gray is pretty underrated. But I crush at quarterback, crush at running back. I like this team a lot. Will I make it to the finals in this contest? I don't know. do I think I have the best team of this group based on looking at these teams that are projected to be very high compared to my team? I think I got the best team. And I know everybody thinks they always have the best team. I believe this to be the case. Let's look at the next highest ranked team, or one of the next highest. Caleb and Love. Come on. Gibbs, Taylor, Spears, JK, Lloyd, Brooks. Not that I don't love JT and Gibbs, but you got nothing behind those guys that are any sort of, guarantee whatsoever at all. I mean, even Spears, you don't know what's going on there. They could draft an RB. He's got one ACL anyway. DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, DK, Jaden Reed. Can I ask you, and Pickens, I mean, this is a great question. Can I ask in the chat, and I don't mind if you like this receiving core better just because of the depth, but I'm very genuinely curious. Do you like DJ Moore, D Smith, DK, Reed, and Pickens more than Jamar Chase, Hunter, and then let's go to my receivers real quick in this list off my top 4. Jaden Higgins, who I think is so underrated. Coker, Tillman, Yoshivas. Whoops. Who likes this wide receiver side better, and by how much? Like, if you had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And again, you can be honest, because I understand that I'm behind. This is probably one of the deeper receiver rooms, but it's not like the best looking at. DJ Moore at the top, Devontae Smith, it's just very deep. So by how much? Travis, by how much would you rather have, if any, this DJ Moore side than this side? Don't consider what I have in place of it, just straight up value for value. Travis? Hello? Rock out. I'll go to Rock out, or Bruce. Is my phone line even working? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Let me restart my speaker here. Team 2 by a little bit. So some people like my side better. I mean, I like the way you guys are thinking. I don't know. My phone line might be out. 8 to 5.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, there, I got you back. Okay, Travis, what side do you like better?
I like yours because I have faith that guys like Coker and Tillman and Higgins are going to spike when I need them to balance out Chase and Hunter.
I didn't expect to get the vote on that, but I will say I agree. I just wasn't sure because I really like, that's crazy because to have Pickens as your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th wide receiver and my wide receiver room still get rated higher is crazy when you think about it. Thomas with a $20 hauler. Thomas to the moon. Thomas, you still there?
Alert. Super chat alert.
Thomas, appreciate you. Team Smith, give it to me straight. Team Smitty? Are you just talking about me? QB, Allen, Penix, Stafford, Bucky, Chase Brown, Monty, Neighbors, Shakir, Mooney, Pittman, Tillman, Palmer. See, he has like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, Thomas, but he has like a weaker wide receiver room than I do in this particular strategy that I did when I went Jamar Chase, Hunter, Jaden Higgins, Coker, Tillman, Yoshibas.
Oh, this is his
$100 league.
$100
yeah, thank you for the $20 super chat, by the way, Thomas. But like he's following a similar path that I am, but he doesn't have 3 QBs. That's what's wild. Is like, and I'm not trying to say this is a bad team. I'm just trying to compare it to this right here because it's so similar in the wide receiver room. Like he has a very similar wide receiver room as me, has a similar running back stable. I got Bucky and Kyron. He's got Bucky and Chase Brown, and he's got Kittle obviously a big move, but I've got my quarterbacks are Burrow, Mahomes, and Hurts. So it's interesting, to see the two teams built. I like your team a lot. I mean, Kittle is a big difference maker here. You need Kittle to be Kittle for one more year at least. I mean, this is a redraft team, right? No, this might be a dynasty team because you're drafting. No, it's the best ball probably.
Underdog, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He did $100 underdog draft. That's right. Okay. So yeah, Kittle, you're good for one more year in Kittle. That's good. Yeah, Kittle. I think the team will live and die by Shakir and Kittle.
Yep.
Like if I was to give you any sort of like advice, in retrospect for the next one, I would just say try and get a little bit more secure wide receiver 2, and I'm okay doing the rotational wide receiver 3 like I did. But is there somebody else? Like I'd rather take a chance at Debo or something like that.
Yeah.
And would I rather have Evan Ingram over Kittle?
Sacrifice.
And would I rather have Evan Ingram over Kittle? Like Evan Ingram likely and somebody else, in that ballpark, and then that affords me to upgrade Shakir. That would probably be my advice. But I like the team a lot. I would have taken Sean Tucker instead of Justice. What's Justice Hill going to do you? Take Sean Tucker, cuff that to Bucky. That would be my only advice that I can. But I keep forgetting he has Monty. That's pretty good. That's a strong flex. Yeah, that's a good team. I mean, for some reason I was ignoring that. Monty makes his team a little bit better. So good job.
Here, Mooney and Tillman. They got to go before half the mop.
I probably would have went Sean Tucker. I probably would have instead. I like Monty a lot, but I probably would have considered a wide receiver. Like, could you have gotten a Sharps or somebody or a Bigsby instead of Monty and got a much more upgraded Shakir? Is what I was saying. I know a lot of people are going to go, "Why do you like Shakir? I think he's going to do great." I know you do because you own him in 3 leagues. You don't need to tell me. I got it. Thank you very much, my boy. I wish I could play underdog fantasy, but I'm in Vegas, but I'll try to catch up the next time you're here. Thank you, Perry. Appreciate you, my boy. Perry to the moon.
Oh, this is a different Perry. New Perry.
I mean, that's a Perry that asked the question about redraft earlier. Yeah. Thank you, Perry. Appreciate you. Perry to the moon. All right, boys, anything else before we jump out of here? And you guys like the squad or what? Anybody have any critiques for it? Maybe okay, real quickly, Bruce, tell me what you would have done instead of Jalen Hurts, because honestly, the only fork in the road for me was I was taking Mahomes no matter what. That value's too strong. I didn't like the players that were available. If we were to go back in time and draft a running back, probably wide receiver though, instead of Hurts, let's take a look and you tell me if you could snap your fingers and make the change. That's the only place where I think I would say, if I could snap my fingers, maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't, but I'm just saying that's where. So after Hurts, it went Ted McMillan. DK was the only one I was really strongly considering. DK, Sutton, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Kenneth Walker I was considering. Jalen Waddle's intriguing. Laporta, Hubbard, Debo, and honestly, Najee got taken right before my Mahomes pick anyway. So
maybe Walker, because you have Sharps too.
So Walker instead of Hurts. So if we go back and look at the team though, yeah, Walker. I mean, that would be my flex. But what if like Bigsby or Scott's playing balls out anyway? Tough to know.
That's the gamble, yeah.
Yeah, but DK instead of Jaden Higgins in there would look nice, but I don't know. I mean, what if DK has 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns, and Michael Wilson has 1,000 yards even and 5 touchdowns? Like, I don't know.
Right.
With a rotation, maybe it's not even going to be that big of a difference. DK Godwin or Walker over Hurts there, says Tebow. I know you'd think that. What was the pick after Hunter?
Right.
Judkins, George Pickens. I took
Hunter or Pickens.
Yeah, it was ballsy. But I don't know. Pickens, with this strategy, I didn't want Pickens to burn me because I don't like Pickens. I think he's a head case. I don't want to bank on him. Yeah, doesn't have a quarterback. To me, Hunter is being undervalued, and I don't understand it. BK Styles, we'll do more Garrett Wilson drafts. We'll figure out a way to do that. We're going to probably drop the links on the Patreon. So it's going to be for people on the Patreon. But yeah, we'll absolutely be doing drafts. Don't worry about it. If Hunter works for you, you win. Only debate. For sure. And I'm fine with that concern. You sure have a lot of concerns about Hunter, Jake, for trying to be on the Hunter wagon. Thank you for the super chat. Thomas says, I agree with your take. I just think Shakir is going to blow up this year. Shakir, I have a new thing I'm going to be dropping on the channel. I haven't prepared the scene for it yet, or the animations and different things that go with it, but I have a thing that's going to be, I told Travis about it. I'm going to basically have like a value type of meter that in my opinion, and this is my show, it's my opinion, that's why you're here. I'm not always right, but clearly, we got some special sauce, secret sauce here that you guys come back for, so we're going to keep doing it, and we're going to keep doing it live. But I'm going to come up with something to where I kind of give my take of whether I think there's a cult, an overblown cult following driving the value of a player. Meaning that there's a fabricated amount of value being unfortunately baked into a player based on the hype and the cultic following that the player has, that's causing other people to spread the enthusiasm. Shakir's one of them. We've got Jacoby Myers is another one. If you want an example of the past of a player that got inflated and they shouldn't have been inflated too much, Deontay Johnson. Jalen Waddle has been in years past. Not saying he won't do well if Tyreek Hill gets traded. What?
J-Mo a little bit this year.
J-Mo a little bit, but he's certainly capable of it. So I don't know that I would pull him into this, but I understand where you're going with it. But the guys that I think are literally, they're not trash, but they're going to disappoint. And I think J-Mo isn't going to necessarily disappoint. It depends on where people are drafting. It's taking them way too high. It's just limiting some upside. I don't think J-Mo is going to fail anyone. But I think that, yeah, you're looking at Deontay Johnson type, stuff with some of these guys. Jacoby Myers sometimes going around 6 is asinine to me. Gotta find another. Day Flowers and 4 is ridiculously bad. But I'll create that because I think it's a really good topic. How much. And Shakir, not to rip on Shakir, Thomas, because I think he's got upside, but Shakir, I just don't see how he's got the support he has right now. Part of it is he just got paid, and then people kind of think, okay, they're pot committed to him. I get it. All right, boys, I'm out of here. Anything else? Travis? Bruce? Rock out.
I was just going to ask real quick. I saw a mock draft, not that they really matter, but with the Cardinals taking Matthew Golden, what would you do if you were in the first round, if you were running the Cardinals? Would you want another receiver? You seem to be confident enough in Michael Wilson, which I like too. If you just stir up the defense or something. Kind of have some flexibility there.
If it were me, there's two ways to answer this question. What do I want the Cardinal? If I could pull the trigger, but the Cardinals are going to coach it, they're going to be the ones responsible for executing, then I don't want this. But if it's me and I get to coach it, I get to make sure that players get used, that we draft. I'm ballsy enough to take a Trey Henderson there, to be honest. I love the way the Cardinals run the ball, and they do a very good job doing it. But Benson's good enough to where you could easily go in a different direction. Matthew Golden, I don't like as much as Igbokwe. Could I take Igbokwe there? Yeah. From a football perspective, I think it's good. It's a good move, but do I think that it's good for fantasy? No. Because Kyler's got to feed McBride. He's got to feed MHJ. How the hell is he going to feed Igbokwe too? So I don't think it. But if I'm coaching the team and I want Kyler, to be able to keep defenses honest on every level, it makes sense for the Cardinals to look at that. But probably be a defensive piece, I imagine. I don't know who I'd select on defense at that point. I'd have to really look at what's available. But if you were trying to get me to answer a question from an offensive perspective, I probably would say I'd have the balls to draft Trey McBride, but I would also have the balls to use him like a full-time running back. He's also the best pass protecting back in the draft class, so that helps Kyler. So, but I don't want them to take Trey Henderson because they won't use him right. They'll, and Trey Benson's already looking solid. So the answer is tough. Two different answers.
Yeah, I got you. I was just curious.
Shane says Shakir was 4 receptions, 50-yard guy, decent bench wide receiver. Yeah, just not a wide receiver 2 is what my point is, that people are ranking him to be a wide receiver 2. And I don't like that. And, one could say, and this is a very fair statement, and Thomas, trust your gut. This is a very fair statement. Someone could say, Smitty, but Travis Hunter might not even be used as a receiver. And I get that. That's a scared Scotty response. Scared money don't make money. But I understand some people are petrified and they think that Hunter's going to fail them. And that's okay. And he could. I'm not saying I got a crystal ball. And I know for a fact that Travis Hunter is going to get 6 receptions a game. But what I do know is if he gets used 50% of the time at wide receiver, and I truly believe he'll at least be used 50-55% of the time, he's going to get the ball whenever he's on the field practically, because you're not going to run him out there for 3 plays and waste 3 plays without giving him the ball. Like, is there a world where anyone envisions a 50% used novelty? He hits the field, he's a novelty. If he starts the entire game, he's just a regular guy. It's going to be like him running from the bullpen every time he goes into the field. Here he comes, Travis Hunter. He's coming out to the field. What are they going to do? 3 straight plays and not give it to him? And go back to playing defensive back? No. And I'm not saying they can give it to him every time, but Travis Hunter's going to be given probably, if I had to guess, you're hoping for what? As a starting wide receiver, you're wanting like 7, 8, 9 targets a game. You're hoping for something like that. Of course, you want double digit. Not everybody gets double digit targets, but you're getting like, 8, 9 targets a game is what your goal is. You're hoping for. Does anybody think he's not getting 6 or 7 targets a game, even on 55% of the offensive snaps? I mean, crazy. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate you.
See you, boys. See you, Smitty.
Later. Go ahead, Bruce, real quick. Later, rock out.
First question is, would you strategy in a non-best ball?
No, Bruce, I explained that. But I know you might not have been here, but you're not going to pick the right quarterback each week. You're going to screw yourself. You might as well not even attempt a 2 quarterback bully in a non-best ball. Like, you can't deploy it in a non-best ball. You will misfire every single time at this triple quarterback, even double quarterback maneuver. You got Burrow and Hurts, you're going to misfire almost every week. You're going to start the wrong guy. You can't do this. It's bully QB only lives inside best ball. Yeah, you can't. Nope. You can't.
Quarterback.
Nope. You can't. And when you draft that way in a non-best ball, you're going to be trying to trade one of them, and no one's gonna bite and give you what you want, and you're going to end up selling lower than the player you just could have drafted, Bruce. You're going to be working so hard to just get back to the point where you're back in a time machine and saying, "Can you give me one of the guys that was around to pick, please?" You're not going to. You're going to be begging. You're going to be begging to get DK Metcalf mid-season in a non-best ball. In best ball, it's different. I don't have to just do a thing. My top quarterback score every week is automatic. I'm never missing on it. I'm just dominating with it. That's why Bully QB lives only in best ball.
Okay.
All right, Brucey. Appreciate you, bro.
Oh.
Hey, Bruce, tell your mother thank you for the plethora of options that we have. While Bruce is on the phone, we'll drop a few of these. This is Mrs. Bruce, by the way. Let me see if I can find them. Where are they at? Where are they at? Where's Miss Robeson? I've got your mother. I have a picture of your mother on my soundboard, Bruce. You tell her that. You let her know that I'm literally finding Miss Robeson's face on my soundboard, clicking it, and then I have 5 more Miss Robeson images. This is the newest one.
Neighbor.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Won't you be my neighbor?
For about a year,
Go ahead.
the children
Getting land.
showing signs.
Land.
What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful clip that we could play in a very, very relevant topic like this one. All right, appreciate you, my boy.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you later. Bruce sounded a little tired there. I'll see you all later. Appreciate all my super chatters. I'm very sorry about the delay on that one for David. Perry, thank you for yours. Thomas, thank you for the $20 hauler. And again, Thomas, real quickly, just to give you your money's worth, pal. Looking at this team again, I like it. And when I kept neglecting Monty for some reason, it's good. It's a good team. Don't take my Shakir negativity as like you messed up the draft or anything. I'm just saying, if you could go back in time, I feel like using Monty, or yeah, I'd just be curious who was there when Shakir was on the clock and curious who was there when Monty's on the clock. And would I rather have a Tank Bigsby or a Charbonnet or something like that instead of Monty, and then have the wide receiver that's there, like Debo, whatever. The truth is I would, but it doesn't mean it's not a good team. You did a good job. Appreciate you. Thank you, Jake, for your super chat as well. See you all tomorrow. Don't forget to get on over to Underdog, promo code Smitty, link in the description, link in the live chat, and get on over to the Patreon, link in the description. And don't forget to get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com for your rankings, bold predictions, trade advice, trade calculator, articles. That's thefantasyfootballshow.com, link in description.